Selling a home in San Jose is already a big decision, but if your property has tenants in place, things can feel a lot more complicated. Can you sell? Absolutely. But there are laws, tenant rights, and strategic decisions you'll need to consider before you list. I'm Dennis Loewen with North and Main Homes, and in this video, I'll explain what you need to know about selling a tenant-occupied property here in San Jose so you can move forward with confidence. First, let's address the basics. Yes, you can sell a home with tenants in it. In fact, it happens all the time in San Jose, especially with condos, townhomes, or single family homes that have been investment properties. The big question is whether you're selling to another investor who wants tenants in place or to a buyer who intends to live in the home. That distinction will shape how you handle the sale. If you're selling to an investor, keeping tenants in place can actually be a selling point. Many investors like having rental income from day one. In this case, you'll want to make sure the lease agreements are current, the rent roll is clear, and the tenant history is well documented. Providing these details builds buyer confidence and can even help your property sell faster. If you're selling to an owner-occupant, things can be trickier. California has strong tenant protection laws, and San Jose has additional local ordinances. For example, you'll generally need to honor the tenant's lease until it expires, unless the buyer is willing to purchase with tenants still in place. If the tenant is month to month, you may be able to provide proper notice to terminate, but the timeline and rules depend on local and state regulations. That's why it's so important to understand the legal framework before you list. Another challenge is access for showings. Tenants have rights to privacy, and you'll need to provide notice, usually 24 hours before entering the property. Some tenants cooperate, others don't. The key is maintaining good communication. Explaining the process and even offering small incentives for cooperation can go a long way in keeping things smooth. Condition of the property is another factor. With tenants in place, you don't always have control over how clean or show-ready the home will be. That can impact first impressions with buyers. If possible, coordinate with your tenants to tidy up before showings, or consider professional cleaning services to help present the home in the best light. It's also worth noting that buyers may ask for concessions if the property is sold with tenants who have below market rents or long-term leases. That's because it impacts their future flexibility or income potential. Be prepared to discuss these details honestly during negotiations. So, what's the best path forward? If you're selling in San Jose with tenants, start by reviewing the lease agreements and local laws. Decide whether your likely buyer is an investor or an owner-occupant. Communicate openly with your tenants and work with an agent who understands both real estate sales and landlord-tenant dynamics. Done right, selling with tenants doesn't have to be a headache. It can even be a strategic advantage. If you're considering selling a tenant-occupied property and want to know the best way to approach it, I'd be happy to guide you through the options. I'm Dennis Loewen with North and Main Homes. Reach out for more information, and let's make a plan that works for you, your tenants, and your goals.